Oh my god, I cannot believe we're in the home stretch. It's really hard to believe that I did not think that I would be able to catch up this fast in the span of like a year or two. But here we are, and cannot believe it. So with all that said, let's kick off the first part of our Season 8 finale, School Raze. So this episode begins at the Friendship School as we see Cozy Glow be the sweet, innocent demeanor Pegasi helping out friends and such. Well, it's nice to know she actually got a bit of a promotion afterwards.
Have you tried synergy?
So we just continue to basically be, well...
Don't worry. I asked Professor Rainbow Dash to cover for you. And she said yes. Uh-huh. I told her how busy you are and how much her loyalty meant to you. I also color-coded your teaching schedule by friendship elements and cataloged all the magical artifacts of the school. I hope that's okay.
Red flag!
Okay. Cozy, that's amazing. You're like my right-hook pony. I don't know what I'd do without you. It's like you taught me. Helping is what friendship's all about.
Let's keep going. So anyways, we cut to a field trip basically at Cloudsdale where Starlight actually casts a spell like what happened back in Season 1, but it seems that the spell starts to fail when Yona basically falls out of the sky. That's a great way to start the finale. So even though Starlight tries to use her magic, it doesn't work, but thankfully Gallus and Ostellus are there to rescue her.
Fine, remember? Fine, not falling. I don't understand. It's like my spell stopped working. That's never happened before.
So because of that, Starlight goes to Twilight and tries to explain the situation of what's going on.
Dropped out of the sky! Slow down. What happened? I cast a spell for our field trip to Cloudsdale, but my magic just failed. We barely caught every pony in time. I'm glad you're all okay, but I'm sure it's nothing to worry about, Starlight. Maybe you did your spell wrong.
But it turns out that Starlight isn't the only one that has issues, as Twilight has issues, and basically we get this humorous bit.
Drop that book. Maybe you did your spell wrong. Ow! Barely ran into the door. My magic is gone!
But yeah, apparently magic all over the place seems to be disappearing, and even Spike is having issues where basically even he has to get a letter basically coughed out of him.
I've never had a letter to stop before. It's from Princess Celestia. We've all been called to an emergency meeting in Canterlot. Look!
So they all go to Canterlot as Celestia and Luna basically address the situation to basically figure out what is going on with the magic right now.
Not working. Even raising the moon has become difficult. Are there similar troubles in Ponyville? We experienced it firsthand. It's the same in my kingdom. The crystal heart seems safe for now, but I worry if this continues.
Letter for the princess from Star Swirl the Beard.
Alright, so what's the dealio?
It is even more terrible than we feared. Magic is disappearing all across Equestria. Star Swirl believes the power will drain from our land in 3 days. First, unicorn magic and spells will fail.
That's what's happening now.
On the second day, creatures will lose their magic abilities.
Oh no!
And finally, magical artifacts will stop working. When the sun sets on the 3rd day, the magic in our world will be gone.
Well, this is a cheery way to kick off the finale.
Forever. But why is this happening now? That's the worst part. We have no idea.
Has any pony checked on T-Rex? You mean the big red scary centaur? We smashed it? Right! We want... Oh, right.
Yeah, probably from what we remember back in Season 4 when Tyrek was defeated, he got banished to Tartarus.
If he has found some way to escape his prison or work from within it, he could be responsible for this. That is the best explanation so far. Pony should investigate.
So we know Twilight, she basically decides that she's gonna go off on her own and...
Wait, did you say we?
There is a God after all. The Princess of Friendship has learned the fact that she can rely on her friends to do missions without having to do everything on her own. Basically took her 8 seasons of the movie to figure it out, but there is a God after all.
Thank you all. We will certainly...
So basically the main 6 decide to head out as basically she puts Starlight in charge, as then we get this.
Oh, I thought that after what happened last time.
She survived Discord. Anything else? Piece of cake.
Plus, she'll have you to help her. Oh, golly, yes! I promise I'll be the best assistant ever. Come on, we can start working on your substitute headwear plans right now if you like.
Wow, okay.
Is this leaning towards the heavy red flag, or is there another shade of red to describe this whole thing? This is especially more egregious by the next day, as Cozy Glow basically announces that she's now the head of the school, as everybody is pretty much dazed and confused about this whole thing.
Just the way she would.
I thought Starlight Glimmer was going to be temporary head mayor.
She was, but she left me this note. I have to go. Twilight needs my help. I know the school is in good hooks with you, Cozy. Isn't that sweet?
Convenient.
We won't let Starlight down, will we?
So naturally, while the ponies are basically wondering this, the young 6 are basically suspicious about the whole thing.
Isn't it? Well, I don't know what you mean. Like, why'd she change her mind? Why did Starlight write a note instead of say goodbye to us herself? Doesn't make any sense. Oh, Smolder, you forget. We're not scheming dragons. We're ponies. Sounds like some creature needs to do a little extra friendship homework.
Just saying. Red flags are any other shades of red to describe how wrong this all is. So even despite with all the constant reassurance from Cozy, the young 6 still don't believe her. Meanwhile, the main 6 in Twilight are basically...
Ow! I have habits with these horrible flies. What is my magic?
Have you tried using your tail to shoot them away?
Ooh, bite your tongue. It's the decorative purposes only.
Except for when you basically generous gave your tail to a sea serpent all the way back at the beginning of the show. But I digress.
Hey, I didn't know we passed green cupcakes. We must have gone bad without magic to keep them cold. Magic this, magic that. You don't need magic to go on a little hike.
But apparently you do need magic to protect you from a rainstorm.
You were saying?
You just need to think more like earth ponies, y'all. Granny's apple core, no bite, no more. That'll keep the flies off.
Ooh, it smells just like it last. Even if our food's spoiled, these blueberries are still good to eat.
Too bad we can't do anything about the rainstorm.
I can't stop that storm by myself, but I can still help.
Yeah, so it seems that Rainbow Dash, even despite with losing of the magic, is still able to hold clouds just fine.
Let's go.
And then we cut to later that night as
Cupcakes today.
as apparently Cozy has been doing a really good job with running the school.
Cozy Glow baked our class cupcakes today, and she made all of us friendship bracelets.
Wait a minute. So it's I guess it's supposed to have them in the middle of the day and they're not hiking. So okay, I'm aborting this.
She's the nicest pony I've ever met. I'm so glad she's head mayor.
Temporary head mayor? Right, guys?
Oh, of course. But if Twilight takes her time coming back, I won't mind.
Yeah, so this is all kinds of levels of shady as Sandbar basically joins up with the rest of the young 6 and we just get to see them interact with one another and find out some of the other things that Cozy has done.
Sorry I'm late. Cozy Glow gave her class tickets to a Sapphire Shores concert in Ponyville today. You get the feeling Cozy's trying too hard to make us like her?
Or maybe she just wants to help us keep our minds off of how scary it is that magic's disappearing. I don't trust her. What's she up to behind those big eyes and bouncy curls?
Well, apparently if we've seen Catstow dance and considering that Cozy Glow has had many comparisons that especially I made to in her debut episode to Darla Dimple, and because we know this comparison, and okay, yeah, really quick, this is actually kind of a perfect time to basically say that I made a mistake. Back in my Marks for Efforts reviews, I said that the chess piece that was on Cozy's cutie mark was the pawn. It turns out I was actually wrong. It turns out that the chess piece that's Cozy's cutie mark is actually the rook, which apparently is one of the more powerful pieces in this board. Obviously, it was stupid of me to make that mistake, but I am not a chess player, so I didn't have that distinction. But yeah, getting back to my point, considering that I've already made the comparison between Darla Dimple and Cozy Glow, you know that means, and especially that cliffhanger ending and what lies beneath, you know that Cozy has some form of ulterior motive.
And why Cozy Pony coming out catacombs so late at night?
So the young six basically spot her coming out of the catacombs, leaving you a lot more suspicious, and before we can dive into that, we basically cut to the young six, not the young six, the main six, going into Tartarus, and...
How about this? The key of unfettered entrance. Where did you find this, Spike?
In your bag. Cozy Glow must have packed it for you.
She really did think of everything.
Convenient!
What does it do? It can magically open any door, and since artifacts like this haven't lost their power yet...
In that case, it kind of makes you wonder why this would be so much easier to use on doors in dorm rooms. It basically would help me out in a couple of situations, but minor digress. So they basically get inside Tartarus, and... Jesus! God damn it! Ugh! I think I might have mentioned this years ago during the Goblin fight in my Let's Play of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. I've made it pretty clear that I am not a huge fan of jump scares. And that is a prime example of that. But yeah, it's basically after the cockatrice is done scaring the shit out of you, we find out that the cockatrice is locked up in a cage.
And he lost his magic too. All the creatures here must have.
Jesus. Every single one of these creatures got banished to Tartarus. I'm basically seeing that giant mole snout thing back in like Triple Threat or something like that. Basically when that thing that attacked the changelings. We see the panda bear bee hybrid from Slice of Life. We even see the manticore all the way back in the series premiere. What exactly did these creatures do to get themselves banished? I mean, yeah, the bee panda thing and the mole thing basically terrorized civilization, but the manticore was basically harmed by Nightmare Moon. And there's a lot of other creatures in here that basically want to know what exactly are they doing here.
Starsbro said that would happen on the second day.
I know it should make me feel safer, but it just makes me sad. We gotta fix this.
So they go venture deep inside, and meanwhile we cut to the young six. Okay, I guess really that's probably the one thing that I find a bit difficult about this finale. I get that basically it wants to constantly jump back and forth, but that's probably the problem with it, is that the pacing feels a little bit disjointed as it's cutting from one plot line to another and it constantly flip-flops back and forth. I understand why they're doing it to build up suspense, but it's kind of annoying. So, anyways, the young six follow Cozy Glow inside the mayor's office where... Judas!
Where is Princess Twilight?
Oh, golly, she's away on a quest. I'm watching the school for her.
Magic is failing across our land, and she left a fool in charge of this facility?
Yes, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?
That won't be necessary. Twilight's folly stops here. As of now, I am head stallion. And I have quite a few changes to make.
On whose authority, asshole? First of all, didn't Twilight basically set up her own rules? Who the hell gives you the right to basically jump in here and make your own conclusions? And on top of that, this is like the third time I'm bringing this up, but making your own rules? What the hell even for? Why do you even have an entire committee for this thing if you seem to be the only important member? I know I keep own stupid logic. And like I said, on whose authority, asshole? Twilight went on to try and fix the problem. The thing that she's trying to solve. So it's not really an adventure when she's trying to solve the problem, you dickhead. So yeah. So after that horrible realization that potentially Cozy and Chancellor Naysay are working together, but given Cozy's reactions, I'd say it's probably something else. Twilight and the others, basically back in Tartarus, reunite with the Cerberus.
You're a very good guard, yes you are. But, we were wondering if we could get by to check on T-Rex.
Apparently Cerberus does seem to love Fluttershy. So then Cerberus leaves the main six to our good old friend, and the best villain of the entire show, T-Rex.
The Princess of Friendship here for a visit. What have I done to earn the honor of your company?
Well, give T-Rex this. At least he still has his good old Unicron voice to know that he could still be intimidating. And as I said back at the Twilight Kingdom review, the voice actor who did Unicron in Transformers Armada and I think Transformers Energon also does the voice of T-Rex, as well as Crumplezone in Transformers Cybertron. But it's nice to know that he still has the Unicron intimidation intact.
We want answers, T-Rex. Magic is disappearing from Equestria.
I know. What a waste of such delicious power.
So you are behind it!
Silly. If I had all that magic, do you think I'd still be locked up in here? But I might know something about it.
Yep, still the best villain. Anyways, back to... let's continue.
What are you doing? Those are Twilight student files.
These aren't. Not anymore. With Equestria under attack, ponies must stand together. Twilight has endangered us all by skipping off on friendship trips.
Hey, douchebag, she's trying to solve the problem. Well, it's nice to know that you're still the big old racist that we know to, and I've already made the joke back at Friendship University, but I'll just say it again. Is the reason why you're dumping the rest of the Young Six folders in the trash, is that because you are a racist liar or a lying racist? I'm willing to believe either or at this point.
These dangerous creatures run loose.
You don't think they're the reason magic is disappearing, do you?
Yes, I came to warn Twilight.
On what basis of assumption, you fucking prick?
But since she is gone, it falls to me to protect you fools from these monsters.
So, you know what, let's just cut to the chase so I can point out the really stupid part where essentially the Young Six end up going too far, and with a little bit of magic from Chancellor Naysay, the rest of the Young Six end up getting tied up and held hostage against their will.
From now on, this school is pony only, as nature intended.
Okay, as much as I want to vomit much in my mouth, but you do realize, Chancellor Naysay, with everything that you've done up until this point, and I cannot believe I am referencing basically a jury segment all the way back at Survivor Fiji, but I think Alex can describe your racist, bigoted logic, and riddle me this, Chancellor Naysay, based on everything that you've done until this point. So, riddle me this, Chancellor Naysay.
You cheat, you lie, you backstab to succeed. Why would the rats and the snakes be the role models to the kids you and I are trying to help? Explain to me why I would endorse that view of the world.
Yeah, so, and of course you're not even going to bring that up because it's the way nature intended. Eat me, Naysay. So, after that smug piece of shit does what he does, he then locks the Young Six in their own room
Since you refuse to explain your plot against Equestria and return the magic you stole, you will stay here while I summon your guardians to take you home.
Yeah, because that went so well the last time you encountered your guardian, because last time I remember in the series premieres, when you made a bunch of racist comments on them, naturally, they all got pissed off and were going to declare war on you. So how exactly is calling them going to make them happy? Especially when they have every single right to beat the ever-living shit out of you. So then Sandbar basically decides to pull a scumbag move and basically try to get out. But of course we know that he's basically acting as Sandbar basically goes to Sweet Apple Acres to gather up the CMNC to basically explain to them what's going on.
Cheating our crusaders. My friends are in trouble. Chancellor Nace locked them up.
Huh? I thought Cozy Glow was in charge.
Not anymore. You guys are good buddies. If you can convince her to distract Nace, I can break out my friends. Will you help me?
And meanwhile, while that's going on, Tyrek basically gives the lowdown of what exactly has been going on.
Tell us what you know, or you'll be stuck here forever because we're out of magic keys and no pony can open the door. Oh dear, I hadn't thought of that.
We're just as trapped as Tyrek?
What a pity. Well, for you, sweet revenge from me. It seems my little protege's plan worked after all.
Which little protege?
Oh, you never may. What pen pals? Each letter had so many questions about flaming magic.
And you answered them?
Well, I was bored, so I simply pointed my pen pal in the right direction.
Can't you just tell us your pen pal's name? I mean, since we're stuck here anyway.
Oh, why not? The irony is too perfect. Her name is...
Cozy Glow! I could have sworn I saw her come down this way when she left her office.
Okay, so now let's get to basically the realization that basically it turns out Cozy has kidnapped Starlight and is actually the true villain of the season. And like I said back in both Marks for Efforts and The Matter of Principles, you know all those artifacts that some of the episodes have brought up? Well, apparently they're basically used to keep Starlight in a force field.
Enjoying yourself in there, Starlight? I'm sorry I had to push you in, but what else could I do?
Okay, and this kind of leads to a sad thing about this plan, is that it's show, don't tell. Because I honestly wish that this episode shows what actually happened to Starlight. Like, give us an explanation of seeing her see the glow inside, basically inside the school. Because only the Young Six and Cozy Glow know about the secret hatchet. Actually show a scene where Starlight sees the light, she gets too curious, and then we see Cozy push her in. But if we want to keep the suspense of her being the twist villain, just keep her in the shadows. That honestly would have built a lot more suspense. But we have to get this explanation. But kind of getting to the point, yeah, this Darla Dimple X Pegasus is the real villain of the season.
You are going to ruin all my plans. You might get some company soon, but I can't make that annoying naysay back off!
Ah! Jeez, well, that's a face a mother shouldn't love.
All this magic needs time to drain from Equestria before my vortex sucks it to another realm. 3 days can sure seem like forever, huh?
So, yeah. Basically, it was all Cozy's plan to drain all the magic and study everything that we had known. And all the foreshadowing in some of the episodes showed that she actually had evil ulterior motives. Now, I heard this was spoiled on Equestria Daily, but honestly, because I didn't pay too much attention to it, I still kind of found it shocking, even though, like I said, some foreshadowing in both Marks for Efforts and What Lies Beneath kind of was pointing to otherwise.
You know, you always got it all wrong. Friendship isn't magic. Friendship is
turns out, just so I can just make this joke out of the way, and I cannot believe I made this joke sooner, basically Cozy Glow wants to drain all the magic, basically weaponize friendship so she can, you guessed it, take over the world.
Of course!
Cannot believe I couldn't make that joke sooner.
Well, fuck me in the keyhole.
Yeah, that about describes it. So that was School Raze, and I think it's good so far. I mean, yeah, obviously just seeing Naysay back just annoys me on several levels, and I just think with a lot of the continuity errors and just kind of the show don't tell type of thing, there's just a lot of things that really just kind of bog it down a bit. That being said, Cozy is kind of a joy so far, just seeing this demon child essentially basically take over the school, no questions asked, and even though she has a bit of a roadblock, it's definitely intriguing to see her do all this, and it honestly kind of makes me look forward to part 2, even though from what we have seen so far, this episode is basically kind of nightmare fuel so far. But yeah, it's definitely very intriguing, even if there are basically a bunch of problems with it. But yeah, I think overall for me, I think the first part of School Raze, I think maybe is about a B- so far. It's good, but there's some things about it that are really kind of holding it back a bit. Alright. Well, basically we got one part of the nightmare fuel out of the way. Now we gotta get ready for the second part. So at long last, we're gonna be wrapping up Season 8 as we get into our second part of School Raze. See you guys next time.